13 out of 15 at this venue. Their last 12 in a row, and the South Dragons are here to try and upset the championship favourites. Great to have your company, everyone, with us here for round 19 of the Phillips Championship. Can anyone beat Brisbane? Shane Hill thinks the Dragons are going to do it tough tonight, but he's not ruling out an upset victory. And Steve, it would be a big shock if anyone was to beat Brisbane here the way they're playing at the moment.
The way they're playing defensively, I mean, they go out defensively like not only they can stop people, but they think they can steal the ball from them in their extended pressure and get layups and dunks and get the crowd going whenever they feel like it. They're like, let's turn up the screws. Whether they got the starting five in there or the second unit, they can get it done. As Andre Moore is in the stands for the Brisbane Bullets, and everybody comes out when you're winning.
Great atmosphere here in Brisbane, and why not when you consider that they are sailing at the top of the NBL ladder. 22-5 is the mark for them. Perth, the only team to come here and win so far this season. And for the South Dragons, down in 7th position at the moment, they look as though they are going to make the playoffs. But if they can find an upset win somewhere, maybe here in Brisbane, keep some pressure on the Taipans, because it's looking as though Cairns will play the Dragons in the first round of the playoffs, and whoever plays that match at their home will start as favourites.
Yeah, you got to think that Shane Heal's team, they play with Shane Heal's character. They come out with a lot of heart. In a game like this where they don't have 100% of their personnel, they're going to be dangerous. And Shane, when he can drop 30 and start getting the defense to play him tight from 25 feet and in, then his dribble penetration is a factor. Kavasi Franklin's a factor. And if they can start knocking down some shots with Jacob Holmes, hey, anything's possible.
Let's have a look at the lineups for this match. The Brisbane Bullets have the deepest lineup that we've seen in the NBL, maybe in the last 5 years.
And it is loaded. Dusty Reichard, who hasn't had a great year, but you don't have to have a great year when your whole team is playing as well as the Brisbane Bullets are. Sam McKinnon's having his best year of his career, in my opinion, being a great leader for the Bullets as well. Evie Ara is at the 3 spot, and he is super athletic and explosive. That's a great front court. In the backcourt for the Brisbane Bullets, they'll go with C.J. Bruton, and he hasn't been asked to do a whole lot this year too, so they've got it a couple of different levels coming from their star point guard, and Stephen Black can also light it up. Outstanding backcourt for the Brisbane Bullets. Off the bench, they are loaded. Look at that. When I say they are loaded, not with superstars, but guys that are playing their role. Adam Gibson comes in. Brad Williamson is shooting the rock well. Mick Hill is athletic, and he is looking to get more minutes. Then you go down to Dylan Boucher, who's probably the best 6th man in the competition with Stephen Hoare from the Melbourne Tigers. And Mark Bradkey comes off the bench for the Bullets.
Bradkey's only played 19 of the 27 games so far this season for Brisbane. Missed the last couple, but he's ready to go. And so are the South Dragons, although they are a little undermanned. No Matt Shanahan here tonight, and no Matt Burston, and maybe no more Matt Burston this season, which is going to be tough for the Dragons. But they've got the best rebounder in the country, Rosell Ellis, who averages 11 boards along with his 18 points. And 19-year-old Joe Ingles, the up-and-coming superstar of the NBL. Jacob Holmes also top 10 in the league in rebounding as well. And the backcourt for the South Dragons, this is where they do a lot of damage. It's going to be Shane Hill coming up, a season high of 30, which included 7 threes against the Razorbacks, and Kavasi Franklin averaging 21 points per game, top 10 in the league, and top 10 in the league in minutes played as well. They look a little skinny off the bench though, with those absentees that I mentioned, and plenty of pressure tonight on Frank Drimmick, Adam Quick and Brent Hobber, along with Ash Cannon, to provide some spark off the bench as the Dragons look to dodge the Bullets. Well, the Brisbane Bullets would like to farewell the Brisbane Convention Centre this season in style. They have only one more home match. That's going to be played at their old venue of Chandler, and 4 games on the road leading into the playoffs. So the home faithful here in their numbers and expecting to win, Steve. When you look at the record between these two teams this year, they've won every quarter out of the 8 against the Dragons, initially winning by 16 points back in round 7. They won by 32 in round 14, and they looked like they could have won by 52 that night.
Yeah, and you got to think that, well, there's no love lost between Shane Heal and Joey Wright. You got to think that Joey Wright is going to have these guys on edge. He's going to have them coming out with all kind of defensive intensity, coming out playing physically and challenging not only the South Dragons, but especially Shane Heal.
Great atmosphere building at the Convention Centre as round 19 of the Phillips Championship continues. The South Dragons looking for their 7th win on the road. Been good away from home this year, the Dragons, but this is certainly a very big assignment. Steve Bignell with the ball, working the match with Campbell Craddock and Anthony Light. And the South Dragons, working to the right of your screen, have controlled the tip. And Roselle Ellis goes to work on Reichart, motors his way down to the rim and draws a foul. He's off to the free throw line. That's a good, explosive start from South.
It sure is. He is going to be the key. Look at all the moves that he's given Dusty Reichart. That's 3 moves in 1 as Dusty gets to the first 2, and then Roselle's able to get by him with some good footwork.
Before he was picked up by the Dragons, Roselle Ellis played with the Wildcats and won their MVP in 2005. He had 18 points and 10 rebounds on average in that season, and he's improved his numbers now with the South Dragons. Stephen Black to Reichart in a confined space, reaching, and Ellis stripped him off, and it spills to Bruton. Now Ebiara looking for McKinnon. Against Jacob Holmes, he works down to the baseline, couldn't get it to tumble, and Ellis grabs the rebound. Jacob, in fact, Joe Ingles with the ball carrying duties there. Now Ellis. Back to Ingles, guarded by Ebiara. Found some space. Got the shot off, but couldn't conclude it. And Dusty Reichart hands off to Stephen Black against Shane Hill. CJ Bruton with Kavossi Franklin to contend with. Here's Ebiara working on Ingles with good speed. Gets an open look for McKinnon. Has it rattle around the rim, wouldn't tumble. Ellis off and running. Confronted by CJ Bruton, he hands over now to Joe Ingles. He finds Jacob Holmes working to Roselle Ellis in a confined space. Comes up with the first field goal of the night. He has all 3 points in the match so far.
They're already throwing counters at the Brisbane Bullets, using their aggressive denial D in their favor for the South Dragons on that last play.
Stephen Black got a good look at it from long range, and he comes up with Brisbane's first points in the game. It took a little over 90 seconds.
And Brisbane trying to employ that same defensive strategy that they had the last time they played the South Dragons. Stephen Black in full denial on Shane Heal, trying to get the ball out of his hands.
Kavossi Franklin with 7 on the shot clock, working against CJ Bruton, pulls up and knocks down the shot as well. He's done it all season, and Kavossi Franklin starts this match in enterprising fashion. And Stephen Black isolated against Shane Hill. Ebiara top of the key. Back to Stephen Black, looking for the penetration, trying to talk the referees into calling a foul. Got no love there, and now Shane Hill behind the back, up the floor, working in to an opening. Now Roselle Ellis left alone, decides to fire from the elbow, couldn't get the job done.
Brisbane will allow him to shoot that a 17-footer instead of him scrambling inside the paint with that strength is the option that they want.
Ebiara stepping back from Joe Ingles, who did a good job defensively to worry him out of the points. They're going to put some pressure on Shane Hill at every opportunity here. Has Stephen Black on his hip, got away with a little bit of a shoulder. And off the window, Shane Hill extends the Dragons' lead. CJ Bruton back the other way to Reichart. In turn, Stephen Black hands off to McKinnon, working on Jacob Holmes. Down low, good D from Jacob Holmes, and McKinnon comes up empty again. Little over 3 minutes played. Term number 1 from Brisbane. The Dragons by 4 and with possession as the shot clock rolls to single digits. Hill to Jacob Holmes, inside Ellis, got a good seal on McKinnon from close range. Roselle Ellis now has 5 of the 9 the Dragons have come up with. Dragons 4 of 6 from the field, Brisbane 1 of 6. McKinnon down low, double teamed, appeared to be fouled, it went unwhistled. Ebiara drills the triple. Brisbane are 2 of 2 outside the three-point line and none of 5 inside it. As Ingles picks up the dribble, goes to Ellis with McKinnon. Right in front of him, shot clock to 10. Ellis spins baseline, McKinnon slapped it away, and Brisbane off and running. Black to Reichardt. Joe Ingles diffuses the situation. Dragons looking to get Frank Drimmick into the game at the next opportunity. CJ Bruton restarts to Stephen Blatt. Now Reichardt against Rosell. Ellis got him in the air, intelligently manufactures the 2 and draws a foul. Dusty Reichardt hasn't produced his best this season, but maybe it's still to come, Steve.
And that's the thing about Brisbane is they've got guys that are super patient. They haven't really had to call on Dusty Reichardt's card all year long, and he's the type of player that he's happy to sit back in the wings. Then when you need him, he seems to come up with the big ones.
Can't make the extra. But Brisbane has scored the last 5 here to close to within a single point. 4.5 minutes played. Term number 1. Kavossi Franklin against Ebiara. Now finding some space to work into, and with foot speed, blew past Dusty Reichardt and made it look easy.
Brisbane's defense been a little bit soft. They really aren't making anybody turn the corner.
Here's Reichardt, ambitiously and unsuccessfully. Ingles off and running. Bruton and Stephen Black to beat. Kavossi Franklin joining in. Adds another 2.
Brisbane has been able to dominate people with their defense, and as I mentioned, a little bit soft. And whenever you can run on a play like that, get some cheapies, well, that helps too. Stephen Black with the bucket. Shane Heal getting caught up on that screen. Here comes the defensive pressure. See, not just soft.
Frank Drimmick spent some time here training with the Brisbane Bullets before re-entering the NBL. Middle stages, term number 1. Shot clock rolls to single numbers now. Kavossi Franklin draws a foul, knocks down the shot as well. He's a big game player, and on 4 of 4 shooting, Kavossi Franklin has 8 points to lead all scorers.
And all of his scores have just pretty much been making something out of nothing. Turning the corner here, then he changes direction, pull up between 2 guys. Just surprised him really, because he wasn't open at all. 2 good defenders on him. Ebiara and Sam McKinnon split the 2 and dropped the jumper down, got fouled.
Kavossi Franklin's playing 39 minutes per game, the 7th most in the NBL. That's how important he is for the Dragons. And with no Matt Shanahan tonight, who is a co-captain along with Kavossi Franklin, he'll see that as a challenge and just want to play even better.
And he's that type of player. He's a warrior. Shane knows who to play a lot of minutes, who isn't as effective in a lot of, like a Darnell Mee or a Rob Rose. Those guys want to be in almost every minute of the game.
Well, the Dragons certainly not intimidated by the all-star lineup of the Brisbane Bullets. They've opened up a 6-point lead, and the Dragons have forced the error again. Shane Hill has Trimmick quickly up the floor, joining in. Kavossi Franklin gets it to Jacob Holmes against Mick Hill, fancies his chances baseline, and the flat-looking jumper tumbles for Jacob Holmes, and the Dragons have scored the last 5 to lead by 8.
Catching the ball.
As Joe Ingles picks up the foul. Timeout called. We played exactly 6 minutes here in the first term. The Dragons leading at 18-10, getting after the league's best team.
We spoke to Shane Heal about his blue with Sam McKinnon about the last time they played, and this is what he had to say.
Oh, well, if Sam McKinnon throws me over his leg again, then I'll probably drag him to the ground like happened in the first time. And, you know, I think the Stephen Black incident was ridiculous. I mean, I couldn't believe that Joey said what he said, but, you know, the NBL justified that there wasn't anything in it. And the referees made the decision, but, you know, I thought that was ridiculous on Joey's part.
I say what's on his mind, boy, you don't have to really give him much encouragement. Just kind of lead him in that direction. He's going to tell you exactly his thoughts on that subject.
And already in this match, we've seen that Brisbane are keen to isolate Stephen Black against Shane and make Shane play a lot of D. And he obviously is aware of that very quickly. That's only going to make him more determined. And I'm not sure if I'd be rattling Shane's cage early in the match. Just try and get the job done and maybe down the stretch enjoy it. But to unsettle him or try and unsettle him early on sometimes just fires up Shane Hill more. Here he is against Stephen Black in isolation, takes him on and gets the chop jump.
That's going to expend a lot of energy for Stephen Black because he's in full denial of Shane Hill defensively, and offensively they're asking him to take it at him a lot.
Holmes against Reichert. Two former Adelaide 36ers go at it. Jacob off the window unsuccessfully. Drimmick keeps it alive, as does Ingles, and gets it to Kavossi Franklin. Dragons are 8 of 11 from the field at 73%. Haven't taken a shot outside the three-point line as yet. They're determined to work it inside. On this occasion, it comes unstuck.
Don't want to make too many turnovers like that against the Bullets, because you know when they get those subs in and start applying that full court pressure, you're going to make probably a few anyway.
Bradkey into the match now for the Bullets and gets it early. Finds Bruton. And CJ Bruton knocks down the shot for his first points in the game. Joe Ingles with a lot of the ball carrying duties here in the absence of Matt Shanahan. Picks it up now, wants help. Shane Hill provides it. Less than 5 minutes to play here. Term number 1. Franklin is fouled by CJ Bruton. Excellent ball movement from the Dragons. Get Kavossi an open look down low, and he's off to the free throw line.
Boy, Dragons do such a good job of keeping the floor spread. And if you overplay, say, the high ball screen on Shane Hill and send 2 guys, and you're zoning an area with 2 guys trying to zone 3 players, they do such a great job of staying spread where you can't guard all 3 of them.
Kavossi Franklin 78% from the free throw line this year. Only Joe Ingles gets to the stripe more than Kavossi Franklin. What a first term from Kavossi Franklin, now with 11 points out of the 20 that his team have come up with. Stephen Black fires quickly and unsuccessfully. Jacob Holmes the rebound. Shane Hill has Franklin wanting the ball quickly. With Adam Gibson guarding him now, goes on with the dribble, looks for the triple, off the front of the rim. Loose ball, Sam McKinnon claims it for Brisbane, and they have numbers working up the floor with authority. Bradkey to Stephen Black, now McKinnon. Inside looking for Bradkey. Kavossi Franklin coming across, doing a good job to relieve them of possession. Now Jacob Holmes had Ingles in support. Drimmick joins in against Bradkey, trying to force his way past, drawing a foul. Frank Drimmick will go to the free throw line.
Bit of management going on with the official Steve Bignell down there talking to Sam McKinnon and Mark Bradkey. I think they're referring to Mark Bradkey took one to the nose, and that's what he's questioning about, and then he gets called for contact against Frank Drimmick.
The South Dragons, despite the fact they've lost both previous matches this season to the Brisbane Bullets, have got to the free throw line more than Brisbane have. They want to work the ball in close, try and get Brisbane into foul trouble, and they oblige because Brisbane foul more than any other team in the league. 4 of 7 free throws, though, is hurting the Dragons' equation. They're off and running again. Kavossi Franklin, it's almost unsportsmanlike on Mick Hill. And again, they're making Brisbane work.
What's the South Dragons defensively? This time Kavossi Franklin with the steal. And he is one of those defenders. He's tough on the ball. He's tough away from the ball. But he's very good at reading guys' dribble and getting those picks. There's some guys that get steals in passing lanes. You know, there's other guys you don't over dribble in front of, and Kavossi's one of those defenders. Definitely don't want to cross over dribble in front of him too much.
It's been an impressive start so far from the South Dragons. They lead by 7. Less than 4 minutes out from quarter time. Brisbane with just 14 points to their credit so far. They've scored as many as 41 in a quarter so far this season. Mick Hill with it against Kavossi Franklin, now shut down by Ingles. Shot clock to 1 as Boucher gets it off unsuccessfully, but gets his own rebound. Well, that hurts the Dragons after playing such good D. Now McKinnon from deep. Couldn't knock it down. Branky, Shane Hill opens his scoring account.
When you start switching on all those screens, that's going to happen. The shot goes up. You're going to have a mismatch. That time, Shane Hill, Mark Bradkey matched up down below the basket.
Shane Hill picks up the dribble, looks for Ellis. Pass didn't do him any favours, but it comes back to the coach who fires the three. Off the front of the rim, Kavossi Franklin getting higher than he's physically entitled to, but couldn't finish it off for McKinnon to Boucher. Quickly up the floor, Adam Gibson turns down an open look. Mick Hill had a foot on the line when the pass went in his direction, and the Bullets turn it over. 4 turnovers for Brisbane, 2 for the Dragons so far. Franklin gets it from Ingles, goes to Shane Hill, whistle off the ball provided by Steve Bignell. An offensive foul is called on Jacob Holmes.
Yeah, you're going to get a few of those. Illegal screen by Jacob Holmes, but you want your guys to set good, hard, physical screens, especially when you're playing against the Bullets, who try and take the physical aspect of the game to another level, so you don't want to be backing down from them.
Joe Ingles all over Dylan Boucher, just losing his footing and commits the foul. That's the 4th on the Dragons in this opening term. Brisbane already over the limit with 5 fouls here in the first quarter.
Just anticipated that he may have been able to get his hand on that in the passing lane.
This is McKinnon looking for Bradkey. Had to pick himself up off the floor. Franklin getting a good body on Mick Hill there. Joey Wright wanted a whistle, couldn't find one though. And here's Dylan Boucher being fouled by Roselle Ellis, and the fans getting involved as well. They think the Dragons have been able to get away with some fouling.
And that's their job. They should be riding on those non-calls, putting some pressure on the referees. But how about the job Dylan Boucher has done in the game? He's taken 1 shot, and he has gotten to the offensive glass. He has given them numerous tries. As, you know, when your team is struggling offensively, as the Bullets are, just shooting 41% from the field. I mean, that's just what the doctor ordered, a guy to come in there and grab loose balls and offensive rebounds.
Dylan Boucher to the free throw line, where he is shooting the ball at just 46% so far this season. He shoots the ball at 56% from the field.
He doesn't take any bad shots. He's like Warwick Giddey, but more athletic, quicker. But that type of role, he does all the little things. And, you know, a lot of times that, when you say that, a guy is like, well, he doesn't have much talent. But he is happy to do all those little things, and he does it with such speed and athleticism. He's got a great knack for the ball like Warwick Giddey had.
Well, Shane Hill taking free throws after a technical foul was assessed on the Brisbane Bullets. Shane Hill will restart. The Dragons by 6, a little over 2 minutes out from quarter time. Drimmick against Riker, and getting beyond him with ease. Here's Roselle Ellis. The pass wasn't intended for him, but he found it anyway, as Bradkey releases the ball to Adam Gibson. Ebiora guarded by Jacob Holmes, looking for Reichart, who's trying to post up Frank Drimmick. Bradkey goes to work up the front of the rim, gets his own rebound, this time from closer range, adds to 2 and draws a foul. And that's an ominous sign for the other teams around the league if Mark Bradkey's going to step up and play as good as he can, with Brisbane already humming the way they are.
And this is what he gives him. He's a big body that you can't keep out of the paint. He comes up short on that shot, but he is by far the biggest player out there. He always gets great position on the offensive glass. And the Dragons are going to give that up if they're going to play us. Well, they don't really have a choice. They don't have Matt Burston.
Dragons lead has been cut to 4, 90 seconds away from quarter time. Shane Hill against Boucher, drawing contact but no whistle. Now with Bradley can contend to it, needs help. Jacob Holmes got an open look, caught the front of the rim, and Brisbane off and running. Ebiara gets it from Boucher, goes to Riker, and they add another two. Adam Gibson for the steal. Kept it alive, stepped out of court, in fact, in front of referee Anthony Lyon.
This is when they're able to do it. It's like a light switch. They're able to just sense that the team is a little tired, and then they just send the dogs out.
Kibossi Franklin picks up the dribble, needs help. Rosell Ellis provides it. Top of the key, given some latitude by Bradley. Hands off to the coach, who fires the three. And the Hammers now none of three from deep. As Boucher goes to work, Jacob Holmes will be called for the foul, and that will send Dylan Boucher to the free throw line.
And he kind of lulls you to sleep with his unselfishness, and then he goes to turn the corner really quickly and just catches Jacob Holmes by surprise.
This man is a winner as well, six-time champion in the New Zealand National Basketball League. Boucher with a season high of 16, which came against the Dragons back on the 20th of December. Ebiara and Rosell Ellis both in too quick. Dylan Boucher will get some more free throw practice. This could be Brisbane's Achilles heel. They shoot just 66% from the free throw line, which is the worst in the NBL. And given that they cover most other bases so well, setting them to the free throw line might become a habit. Bullets have scored the last five. They've closed to within a single point. Dragons, though, with possession as the shot clock rolls to 10. Shane Hill getting plenty of attention. Pass again was a poor one. Gibson picked it off. Ebiara has trimming to beat, goes back to Gibson. And they are turning on the show here in Brisbane. They take the lead on the back of a 7-0 run as we head toward quarter time.
That's just great defense, and they're looking to run. Not only are they confident with their defense, but once they get the steal, they know how to put their head down and get an easy fast break opportunity.
18 seconds left in the first term, or 17.9 to be exact as Boucher sits down. Shane Hill to the free throw line, where he's 2 of 2 so far tonight. Despite having played for Brisbane for 5 years, getting no love from the fans. Shane Hill top 10 in the league this season at 82% from the free throw line. And the starting backcourt for the South Dragons has scored 17 of the 24 that they have come up with. Last play, term number 1. Scores tied at 24. After the Dragons led by as many as 8, Ebiara fires unsuccessfully. Bradley with the offensive rebound and the putback. And on the quarter time buzzer, the Brisbane Bullets take the lead for the first time in the match. What a start. At quarter time, it's Brisbane 26, leading the Dragons 24 here on Fox Sports.
Well, plenty of highlights in the first quarter between the Brisbane Bullets and the South Dragons. South Dragons coming out pretty quick for Brisbane, doing as they've done all year long on the defensive end of the floor. Really turning the screws, getting a couple of turnovers, and getting some buckets. Here we go. This is how it unfolded. Quick start for the Dragons. Ellis with the bucket. Stephen Black came good. Good defense on Shane Hill, and then offensively draining the three. And Ellis again with the jump hook. Sam McKinnon is getting all kind of defensive attention. Ellis has been grabbing the boards as well, looking to get another double-double. Kibossi Franklin on the drive, exploring. Stephen Black gets Shane Hill hung up on a screen as he gets his score. But the South Dragons had a couple of weapons going there early in the quarter. Jacob Holmes with a fall away. Stephen Black with a floater over Shane Hill. And Sam McKinnon from deep, again off with a three-point shot, and Mark Bradkey, who comes off the bench, giving them a boost on the offensive glass, rebounds his own shot this time, gets the deuce and goes to the line. Here's the Fleet squad for Brisbane as they get their subs into the game who forced the turnovers. Adam Gibson, after a good defensive play, is rewarded with a nice pass from Ebiara. And directly after this game, we've got the New Zealand Breakers. As we have them in New Zealand, the Breakers go against the Singapore Slingers, and they must go about 10,000 Ks to get to that game. Wow, that's a hell of a road trip. And that's coming up next, right here on Fox Sports.
Slingers in the top 8 at the moment. New Zealand just outside, but a victory for the Breakers will keep their playoff hopes alive. And the Dragons are right into this one. They trail by just 2 at quarter time, so that's 9 consecutive quarters that they have lost to the Brisbane Bullets. But after leading by as many as 8 in that first term, they've showed they can be competitive. But they've spent a lot of petrol there in the first term. Given that they are a little skinny without Shanahan and Burston tonight, one wonders how long they can maintain such a fierce pace against a team that goes so deep. They just keep bringing fresh players onto the floor. And there is a man who orchestrated a lot of the success here in Brisbane, Brian Curl. During the mid-80s, when they played in 4 consecutive grand finals, he had Brisbane and basketball booming.
I love it when the old heads like that are regular fixtures at the game. You know, they had their success. There's no animosity. They're just here, fans of the team.
Bradke working against Roselle Ellis. Now it's Reichert posting up. Frank Drimming forced into a tough shot, but Reichert comes up with the goods. Bullets have scored the last 4 points to lead by that margin. As Joe Ingles picks up the dribble. Now Drimmick firing the 3 over Reichert. Caught it a little deep. Bradke with the rebound. Dragons now none of 5 from long range. Ingles has stolen it from Dylan Boucher. Now shows him some tricks. Lost the handle himself and has to retreat to Adam Quick. Ingles, active hands again from Boucher, wins it back for the Brisbane Bullets. That's why Boucher is top 5 in the league in steals. Reichert wheeling and dealing off the window, adds another 2. He now has 8 points to lead the Brisbane Bullets.
Also tempo. As we look at almost another turnover for the South Dragons, Brisbane want to up that tempo. If you fall into the hands of that, turning the basketball over and giving them layups is a no-no.
Ingles against CJ Bruton. Ingles finds a tough one, says he was fouled by Bruton. Referee Steve Bicknell didn't see it that way. So Ingles still yet to score in the match as they work at the Reichert once more. Joey Wright thought that Drimmick might have fouled Reichert. It doesn't matter as he adds another 2. He had 4 points at quarter time, Reichert. Now he's in double figures to lead his team.
Get a timeout by the South Dragons as they completely lose their way. Bullets on an 8-0 run. As we have a look at Ronnie Lester, an all-time great, played at the University of Iowa. As a matter of fact, I replaced him at the University of Iowa at the point guard. He went on to be drafted in the first round by the Chicago Bulls and then went on to play with the Los Angeles Lakers, where he is a scout for the Lakers. Still in fantastic shape. Be about 48 years old. Looks great. Here to look at Joe Ingles. Saw him writing a few things down after Joe forced a couple of shots, but I'm sure he'll get his fair share of good things down.
You're standing there, mate. You can't just stand there and let the guy deny you. You guys have got to be active, get the first pass, get it back to the point guard, and then sprint down the court. When we reverse the ball and it comes to you in the 4 spot, don't settle for that. Okay, there's someone on you, I want you to pull through, get it to Kavossi on the weak side. Okay, he's going to take it, I want you to be aggressive. 6-point run, now it's time to suck it up, go down, get a good basket now. Take the momentum out of the game. Let's go, fellas. Let's go.
Come on, Dragons.
Well, Shane's not afraid to light into his teammates, or I should say his players. But that's exactly right. A couple of possessions where they lose their way and get 4 shots. And Brisbane, when you make those mistakes, they get that board and they're off to the races. They're fresh and they're confident, and they know they can just sense that the South Dragons are a little tired. And look at that, in the passing lanes.
Ingles reels it back in. Kavossi Franklin against Boucher. Reaching in, Bruton got a piece of the action. Franklin still going hard. They can't contain him at the moment. He gets the shot off. It doesn't matter how tough you make it. Kavossi Franklin will still find a way to score.
And he started off the season a little slow, but he is doing his thing now.
Out cold on the South Dragons, Adam Quick. Now a 6-point lead for the Brisbane Bullets. Played a little over 2 minutes in this second term, and the Bullets are 3 of 3 from the field so far in this period. Ebiura has Reichart rolling down low in a mismatch against Adam Quick. Gets to CJ Bruton, who gets Boucher joining in. He rushes to the hoop and adds another 2. His first field goal in the match.
You know, that's a shot CJ could have very easily had taken, but they're just throwing it that extra pass. They're so unselfish. They're enjoying playing with one another.
Ingles against Ebiura. Shut down, needs help. Adam Quick is there, working on Bruton from the foul line. He fires, caught the front of the rim. Reichart grabs the rebound. Brisbane off and running as Bradke gets involved, confronted by Roselle Ellis. Shows him some moves, couldn't find a way past. Trimmick grabs the rebound. Ball knocked down under the foot. And out of court, the Dragons will come up with possession.
You know, that's no plan when Bradke and Boucher double team the rebounder. They're just going to their instincts, and they just have such a good feel for one another. The guy has a guy held up, double team, ball pressure, mirroring the basketball, and they almost come up with a turnover.
Adam Quick goes to Kavossi Franklin. Firing over the top of Ebiura, couldn't finish it. Dylan Boucher grabs the rebound for Brisbane, goes to CJ Bruton. He blows past Ingles, picks it outside for Stephen Black.
Oh, he can't stop that. Cannot stop that. Dribble penetration by CJ Bruton. Great move. Gets in the paint, got the presence of mind, the poise, and the ball control to just throw a dart to Stephen Black.
3.5 minutes played in this term. It's 11-2 Brisbane's way, and the Dragons, with Shane Hill and Jacob Holmes sitting down, are struggling at the moment. Kavossi Franklin comes up empty. Can't believe he couldn't get a call from the referees there, but now we do have a whistle, and the foul is going to be called on the Dragons.
Stay on that side, stay there.
It looked like CJ Bruton just held that left hand just long enough for him not to be able to get it to the basketball, and just wasn't able to lay it up.
Shane Hill back into the match. Joe Ingles getting a rest on the bench. Stephen Black to McKinnon. Good ball movement. They open it up for Ebiura. He's on the end of a chain of passes to knock down the three. Game Brisbane have reeled off 8 without reply. And Roselle Ellis finally breaks the drought. Here's Stephen Black in a mismatch against Roselle Ellis. Played some good D, but Ebiura on the other wing scored a little deep. Trimmick with the athletic rebound, colliding with Ebiura, who's going to be called for the foul.
Wow. Frank Trimmick loses his footing, and he just falls into Ebiura's arm on the way down. You talk about bailing him out. Oh, my goodness.
We're reeling in. We're reeling in.
Oh, my. Let's have another look at it. He's falling down. Ebiura, he has his hand in there, but he either traveled or that's a no call.
Adam Quick hands over to Kavossi Franklin. Played 4.5 minutes in this second period. Single digits on the shot clock. Franklin forces his way to the hoop. This time gets a whistle. He's off to the free throw line.
He can't believe he missed this shot. Does all the hard work. Great move as he stands him up, draws the contact, and missed the little one-hander off the window.
Third personal for Ebiura. He sits down. McHill also has 3 fouls for the Brisbane Bullets.
Earlier in the year, the nightmare guard to defend was Cortez Groves, and he's cooled off a little bit, but right now, Kavossi Franklin would be the toughest guard in the league to try and contain. He's an animal right now.
Brad Williamson into the game for the first time to Stephen Black. Now Bruton goes to McKinnon. They lob the ball down low for Boucher. Posting up Roselle Ellis. And Dylan Boucher, he'll take anyone on. Jacob Holmes. The Dragons looking a little rattled as they go to the coach Shane Hill. Took over 5 minutes played in this second term. Dragons have scored just 6 points. And CJ Britt released Roselle Ellis of possession. Comes back up the floor. No look play intended for McKinnon. Cut out by Kavossi Franklin, who finds Jacob Holmes. He has Ellis available. Inside Stephen Black. And Dylan Boucher knocking the ball out of the cylinder. He will try anything.
He's a break too. You just wonder how hard he can go for so long. And that was a break where the South Dragons didn't catch or dribble the basketball clean the entire time. Still attacked though and got the bucket.
Brisbane 7 of 9 from the field since quarter time. Starting to warm to the task. Foul is going to be called on Sam McKinnon though. Anthony Light with the offensive foul calling on the Brisbane skipper.
Jacob Holmes got called for the identical foul on the other side of the court, just kind of turning into the screen after he handed it off.
Ingles back onto the floor, hands over to Jacob Holmes, and now Sam McKinnon steals the pass upstairs for the flag. Fans getting involved as well as the Bullets get out to a 12-point lead. 18 points to 8 in this second quarter. 10 on the shot clock for the Dragons. Ellis from close range off the window. He's into double figures. Now CJ Bruton got it in rhythm, knocks down the three. And they come at you with so many different weapons. The Dragons think they're surrounded at the moment. Shane Hill penetrating, drawing a foul on Stephen Black. It's the 4th team foul on Brisbane in this term.
Side out, guys, side out.
This is Ellis kicking outside for Adam Quick with the open look. Couldn't finish it from long range. Jacob Holmes, the offensive rebound, gets Ingles involved. Down to the baseline, harassed by Brad Williams. And the Dragons forced into a turnover.
I don't know if Joe Ingles is aware that there's an NBA scout here, or at least one, but he looks rattled. Looks like he's really pressing.
2 turnovers and none of 2 from the field for Joe Ingles as Stephen Black short arms one from close range. Riker adds a 2, draws a foul in the process. And that is going to be number 3 on Roselle Ellis in terms of fouls. They can ill afford to have him off the floor at the moment.
Kind of caught in no man's land, wasn't really helping, didn't have great position. Then he leans into Dusty Reichardt. He picks up a little cheapie.
Dragons go to the bench, bring in Brent Hobber to give Roselle Ellis a break. Adam Quick sits down, replaced by Kavossi Franklin. Ellis and Franklin are the only 2 that have scored for the Dragons since quarter time. In contrast, Brisbane have 6 scorers in this term. Shane Hill off and running, gets it to Ingles. And goes on with the job as well, and off the window, Shane Hill adds another 2. From close range, McKinnon returns the favour though.
How quickly Brisbane inbound the basketball on that made, but no call.
Hill firing again. Little lap of Hobber, the offensive rebound. Back to work from close range. Brent Hobber has an immediate impact off the bench. Williamson a little out of control, takes them on. Shane Hill doesn't like the call. Free throws to come for the Brisbane Bullets.
I just don't know how he can defend this any better. He's retreating. He's got his hands up in the air. Actually, that's a good call. He had his hands down as Williamson was starting to elevate.
Here we go. Twice.
Kavossi Franklin and Shane Hill working over referee Anthony Light in tandem. Williamson goes to the free throw line.
In. One.
You know, if you don't get that call, well, if you get that call against you, you sure hope you're going to get it on the other end of the floor. But that was some pretty good D. Made a good job of making it a tough shot as he was retreating, but the arms were coming down. And I think that's how it was called.
Jacob Holmes against Reichert. No solo. Couldn't finish it off. Brisbane coasting at the moment. As Sam McKinnon has Jacob Holmes on the retreat. Feeds Dusty Reichert. And he gets upstairs for the dunk. Reichert now with 14 points in the game, including 10 in this term.
You just got to do a better job of containing Sam McKinnon. He gives up baseline, draws the help defense, and then Dusty Reichert, when his man leaves him, he gets to the front of the rim.
Ingles to Jacob Holmes. Now Kavossi Franklin against CJ Bruton. Pulls up for the triple. Caught it a little deep. Hobber coming in over the back of Brad Williamson, who keeps it alive. McKinnon gets it to Stephen Black. Guarded by Joe Ingles. Patiently, the Brisbane Bullets look for an opening. They find one now with Reichert in a mismatch against Shane Hill. And from close range, Dusty Reichert adds another 2. He's 8 of 9 from the field.
It looked as if when the defense came, he was going to pass it, then realized it was a smaller Shane Hill and shot the shot.
Hill in the corner is overdue and finally knocks down his first 3 of the match after the Dragons were none of 8 coming into that. Williamson goes to work and gets an easy 2 for the reply.
Well, Shane Hill's normally the safety, but he was stuck in the corner after he dropped that 3-point bomb.
Hobber going to work, growing in confidence. That was a play he couldn't make earlier in the year, but he's picked up the slack as well. Reichert to Bruton against Kavossi Franklin. They find Williamson lurking down on the baseline. Hobber is forced to foul. Free throws to come for Brad Williamson.
And this is Sam McKinnon on the bait. Can't give up baseline. Draws the help. Excellent pass to Dusty Reichert. You have to contain the dribble better than that. You can't stop anybody's offense if you allow dribble penetration after one pass like that.
Brad Williamson, who has a career high of 30, which he scored here against Singapore back in November when he unloaded 9 of 12 threes in that famous last quarter. He'd still be dining out on that story. This is starting to get a little worrying for Dragons fans. Brisbane have racked up 61 points already. They lead by 18 with 2:30 to play here until half-time. And Dusty Reichert's been the go-to man here in the second period. He has 12 points. Remembering that Dusty Reichert had his season high of 24 against the Dragons back on the 3rd of November. It's no surprise that Brisbane are racking up big numbers. Their last match against Wollongong, they scored 121. Prior to that, it was 132. Prior to that, 108, then 131 against Singapore, 121 against Wollongong. 4 of their last 5 games, they've been at 120 plus.
Well, Sam McKinnon, I spoke to him before the game and talked about their depth and their patience on offense.
Yeah, I think, probably Blackie was definitely one of the main scorers over the last few years, and probably he's probably have to adjust the most, and I think he's done a great job of doing that. He knows that he's still a focal point of our offense, and we're trying to run down screens for him to come off and get him involved. We know Hoagie's going to be a big threat for us in the finals, a legit 7-footer. So all the guys are doing well at different times. Dusty might be having a good first quarter, and Ebby will pop up, so it makes us tough to guard. And offensively, we all know that when we get rolling, the guys are going to look to get that guy an open shot or even more shots. So yeah, it's just we seem to be able to recognise who's going well and go to that guy.
Sam McKinnon speaking pre-game. He mentioned Stephen Black, who's averaging 13 points a game this season. Last season, 19 per game, to be top 10 in the league and led the Brisbane Bullets. So he has had to rein in his game, but success and the championship is what it's all about. Stephen Black won't mind having his own production down if the championship banner comes to Brisbane.
Well, it's a lot easier to swallow when your team is just hammering folks.
Ellis with 4 on the shot clock, has Reichard on the retreat, went back to Shane Hill, who must fire, and the hammer can't connect. Ellis trying to keep it alive, bats the ball out of court. Brisbane will restart. Little over 2 minutes to play until half-time. Brisbane have scored 35 points in this term, closing in on their season high of 41, which came against Townsville 5 weeks ago. Riker patiently to Bruton. Now they find Adam Gibson, the open man. Caught the front and back of the rim, but it wouldn't tumble for the youngster. Mossy Franklin has CJ Bruton to contend with. Goes to Ingles. Is long overdue in terms of scoring in this match. He's gone a little gun shy though, and again Shane Hill gets the rock with the shot clock winding down. Good D from McKinnon. Rejected the shot, and look at Brisbane swarm up the floor. Stephen Black couldn't finish it. McKinnon's tip in. Couldn't control that either, but Brisbane will get it back. Bruton to do the honours. Stephen Black hands off to Adam Gibson. Foot violation from Ingles. 1:17 to play until half-time. Brisbane led by 18 at half-time the last time these two sides met. It was 65-47. At the moment we have 63-43. Brisbane have their biggest lead of the match. Ingles goes to Jacob Holmes. Shane Hill working backdoor, tried to get Ellis in on the play, but the active hands in Brisbane knock it down again. Stephen Black to Reichard, who's been the go-to man here in the second. Couldn't finish that. And Ingles knocks down Reichard, gets away with it. Franklin to Jacob Holmes. Dragons have numbers up the floor, but Jacob Holmes goes solo to knock down the jumper. Brisbane slowing it down. McKinnon. Stephen Black around the perimeter to CJ Bruton, and now Riker. Shot clock to 5. Stephen Black gets an open look, caught the front of the rim. Nickel trying to keep it alive, can only get it as far as Jacob Holmes and Kabossi Franklin. Now winding down the clock to half-time. Franklin goes to work against Adam Gibson, lost control of it, turns around, wasn't pretty nor effective, and that is all for the first half, and the Brisbane Bullets have a commanding lead here at the major break. At half-time, it's Brisbane 63, leading the Dragons 45 here on Fox Sports. 18-point buffer after it was just 2 points at quarter time. 37 points to 21 in that second period has given Brisbane a big lead, and Dylan Boucher standing by with Steve.
Well, it didn't look like you guys started a little slow, then put that squad in that likes to extend the pressure. You involved, turned it around.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the squad that turned around. We just started out a little bit lackluster, and I don't know why. You know, we've got no reason to come out like that, and we did. We came out flat, and, you know, the bench just came on and tried to pick up the energy and pick up the tempo a little bit, and it turned it around for us.
Even in games when you start slower, have a little lapse in the third quarter or something like that, it seems like you're able to turn that defensive pressure on like a light switch.
Yeah, well, one of our strengths is our defense and our bench, and, you know, our bench brings a lot of energy, and, you know, that's what we do out there, and then the starters come on and finish the job. So that's just how we've been doing it all year, and, you know, tonight's no different.
I think Joey will let you know about that slow start.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. He'll be yelling down there, and, you know, he needs to fire us up. We want to finish strong. We want to keep our momentum going.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Dylan.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Don't forget.
Shoot, pass, steal. Something will happen. Something must happen every 24 seconds. Breakers Dragons. Thursday exclusively live Sky Sport 1. Proudly brought to you by Harvey Norman.
So, Mr. Jones, your car passed its 80-point pre-purchase check.
Oh, good.
And I popped the MTA warranty in the glove box for you too.
Oh, lovely. But what?
She's a little gem.
Yes. Now, what I need to know...
Buying a used car? Buy from an MTA dealer. There are lots of sellers out there, but none can give you the assurance that an MTA dealer can. You'll take away the risk.
Me. La la la, I'm not listening to you. La, la,
Shred
la,
all documents! It's Superior's new secret code!
Uncle Glowface?
Duh! I replaced your wristcom with a listening device. I knew Tuesday would reveal something good.
Here on Fox Sports at halftime, the Brisbane Bullets are showing us why they are the championship favourites. They've opened up an 18-point lead over the South Dragons. 63-45 is the equation here at the moment, and we're heading toward a very big day on the Australian sporting calendar. Australia Day is always a good day. Most of us get a holiday, and coming your way on Friday, we've had the lead in the first term. In the second quarter, it was all one-way traffic, and the Brisbane Bullets have put up some impressive numbers.
I think the team is really impressive when they come out. Maybe a little lackluster start at the beginning for the Brisbane Bullets. Like Dylan Boucher said, he wasn't sure why they came out like that, but they were able to turn it around very quickly. Defensively, they did what they did best. They put the pressure on the South Dragons, turned the game around in the first quarter, and then it was just all Brisbane Bullets. They picked up where they left off with their intensity on the defensive end and then shot the ball well in the second quarter.
In the second quarter, they were 15 of 22 from the field, the Brisbane Bullets. Overall, 58%. 26 of 45, and the South Dragons at 45%. That's not a bad clip, but the three-point shooting is interesting. Just 1 of 10. The Dragons came in as the third best three-point shooting team in the league. Brisbane's D has shut that down, and you can see they're leading the rebound count. They force more turnovers from the Dragons as well, and the steal count at the moment, 6 for Brisbane, 1 for the Dragons.
Well, like you said, that three-point shooting was a big difference in the game there. The South Dragons normally shoot the basketball well from the three-point line, but you got to give Brisbane a lot of credit for the defensive pressure that they are getting on Shane Hill and the shooters, and of course, no Matty Shanahan in the lineup, and an extra shooter like that really could come in handy.
Joey Wright continues to send Dusty Reich out to torment the South Dragons. He had a season high 24 against them early in the season, had 14 points alone in the second period there. He now has 18 to lead all scorers.
Well, that's the thing. Dusty Reichard, he's been patient. As we've mentioned before, the Brisbane Bullets have a number of star players who are willing to play a role, and they haven't really called on Dusty Reichard's card a whole lot. But this game is one they feel like maybe that they don't match up well against Dusty, so he gets the ball in the paint. He does good things. Look at this. Great job of getting to the right area with the right angle on a good pass from Sam McKinnon. And so Dusty Reichard is called the garbage man for a reason, because he knows how to hang around and get all the dirty stuff. He does just that. 9 of 11. I didn't realize he was 9 of 11 from the field. Missed both free throws. That's the only thing he's done wrong, but he's done a great job of getting to the open areas. His teammates have done a great job of finding it.
Brisbane have 9 scorers at the moment, and the Dragons just 5. That's part of the problem. And Dylan Boucher can come off the bench and make himself a nuisance as well.
You have just got to love a team player like that. Dylan Boucher is so unselfish, but he's also aggressive when he gets into the right area. He's 2 of 3 from the field. He shoots a better percentage from the field than he does from the free throw line on the season, because he never takes a bad shot. He's always willing to give a screen. He's always trying to get loose balls and offensive rebounds, all the little things that take so much effort to do.
He's only played 9 minutes, but the way he plays, it's almost as good as 15 minutes. He gets his hand on so many balls, deflecting the balls, and also just intimidating the opposition.
Well, if you put a guy in for 9 minutes, you would be hoping that you're going to get some kind of minutes like that, maybe 2 or 3, the way that he got the 9. He did, like I said, he went and got loose balls, offensive rebounds, defensive pressure, and he's a smart defender too. He's just not running around and just giving false hustle. He's in the right place at the right time, and if he's not there, he has the energy to adjust.
Stephen Black started the rot for the Brisbane Bullets. He had 7 of his 10 points in the first term and was giving Shane Hill plenty to think about.
And he's making Shane Hill have to play both ends of the floor. Shane is not getting a minute's rest while he's out there. He's trying to chase around Stephen Black, who's coming off after screen, staggered screens, and he's shooting 4 of 9 from the field, but he's made Shane Hill expend a whole lot of energy. He's 2 for 4 outside the three-point line, so Shane has to guard him from inline to inline, and then he has to wear him as he is in his shorts defensively on full court pressure.
Certainly the weight of numbers is hurting the Dragons as well. Off the bench, it's 20 points to 4 in favour of Brisbane. Brent Hobble with 4 points for the Dragons. Off the bench is their only scorer, and Joe Ingles, who started the game, well, he had hasn't scored in the match so far. Rijkaard had 14 of his 18 there in the second period. Stephen Black also in double figures. Then we had 3 players on 6 points. In fact, make that 4 players on 6 points for the Brisbane Bullets, and CJ Bruton has 5. And for the South Dragons, 3 players in double figures. They're not getting enough out of Jacob Holmes at the moment. And as I mentioned, the Dragons can't be competitive if Joe Ingles hasn't scored in the first half.
Oh, I mean, they have to have a picture-perfect game from Joe Ingles, Kavasi Franklin, Shane Heel, Ellis. They've got to get great numbers out of all those guys because the Brisbane Bullets are going to come at them loaded with a bench with a lot of depth, and the South Dragons don't have that. So they need all of their starters and key players to score big.
And one thing that we have seen with Brisbane in recent weeks is that they are ruthless. Even though they have a big lead here at halftime, and in the past some teams do like to coast home, I don't think we'll see that from Brisbane. Joey Wright is determined that this team will play out 48 minutes. And when you're competing with your teammates for minutes, then no one wants to lie down.
Exactly. About the only person I think may be cruising a little bit is CJ Bruton. He's given a great effort when he's out there, but I think sometimes he's probably a little more unselfish than he will be in the finals, and I think he's ready to get it to another level once the finals start.
So with the South Dragons being beaten so badly from 3-point territory where they're 1 of 10, do they continue to fire and expect that percentage to improve, or is Brisbane's D just too good and they need to try and get something happening inside?
Well, Shane's very good at making adjustments at halftime. I think they'll be able to do that. They have to shoot the basketball better than that, and when they have to do things, they usually get it done.
Halftime here in Brisbane, the Bullets lead by 18 at 63-45. Can the Dragons come back? Find out right after this.
Welcome to the highly competitive world of NASCAR, where the reputation of the race team, the driver, and car are all at stake.
Car inside.
Feel the phenomenon that is NASCAR on Sky Sports. Bumper to bumper, wheel spinning passion.
2 car about 5, 6 cars back.
Witness pure speed fueled on heart and the will to win. NASCAR exclusively live, Sky Sports. Check guides for times.
Time is running out to grab Harvey Norman's latest breakthrough offer. From no deposit, no interest until 2010. Take home this Panasonic 42-inch plasma for $3,988. Save $300 from no deposit, no interest until 2010. Or this Mitsubishi 290-litre fridge, a hot $1,049. And guess what? Take this home from no deposit, no interest until 2010. That's 36 months interest-free. From no deposit, no interest until 2010, store-wide. But hurry, last days. Offer must end this Monday. Don't miss out. Go Harvey Norman now.
Go!
Win one of 3 Massport Style Master Barbecues and other great summer treats with a no bugs, no worry summer. See the No Bugs Super Pack for details.
Ford Ranger, legendary tough.
Hey boys, wish shaving could be a more stimulating experience? Your wish is granted. Chic Quattro Energy.
And welcome back to the Brisbane Convention Centre. We are 3 weeks out from the playoffs, and the Bullets and the Dragons are going to be there in the postseason. And at the moment, Brisbane are looking every bit the championship favourite as the Dragons restart the second half here. With plenty of pressure on them and a lot of work to do, down by 18. Again, they go to Rosell Ellis, but CJ Bruton stripped him of the ball. Has Ebiarar in support. Rijkaard joining in, adds another 2. Here we go again.
Turnover and sheer numbers on the break with good spacing.
Rijkaard with 20 in the game. Also has 6 rebounds as well. I mentioned the steal count. Well, it's now 7-1. The assist count 15-6 Brisbane's way. As Joe Ingles is well overdue, plants his feet, knocks down the 3. Just the second triple of the match for the South Dragons. Need a lot more of that. As Bruton works it to Reichardt. Roselle Ellis on the retreat. McKinnon found an opening against Shane Hill and adds the 2. Shane Hill spinning past Stephen Black, attracted all the attention. It opened up for Roselle Ellis to add the easy 2.
Like a good point guard, Shane knows where everybody is. Great pass by C.J. Bruton.
Excellent D from Joe Ingles as well to block the shot from Reichardt. And here's Ingles again, taking on Sam McKinnon on the retreat. Not a lot of contact, but a drew a whistle from Steve Bignell, and McKinnon picks up the foul.
It's a good quick move to the baseline, and Sam McKinnon, one of the better defenders in the league, quick to get there.
Good strip by Sam McKinnon. As the Bullets off and running once more, and Bruton likes the look of it. Caught the 3 a little deep, loose ball. Grabbed by the Dragons, Shane Hill to Ingles. And now Jacob Holmes joining in. From close range, Jacob Holmes knocks down the 2. 15-point margin. We played almost 2 minutes in this third term. McKinnon gets it from Bruton, hands off to Stephen Black. He penetrates, takes them all on. Couldn't finish it under a lot of pressure though, and now Shane Hill drawing a foul from a C.J. Bruton. That's his second personal.
Good move by Shane Hill. Had C.J. Bruton beat.
Got it.
Shane Hill against Stephen Black. Screen from Roselle Ellis. Hill fires, caught it short. Fans let him know about it as well. Bruton gets it from Black, goes to Reichardt, now Ebiarat. Working against Joe Ingles. Puts it on the floor. Kicks outside where McKinnon is lurking. He fires unsuccessfully. Ellis in a good battle there against Reichardt, unable to keep it alive. Ellis does have 8 rebounds to lead that category in the game. As Brisbane restart. Good hands from Kavossi Franklin. Denies the pass intended for McKinnon and now takes him on and makes it look easy. 18 in the match for Kavossi Franklin. Only Reichardt with 20 has more. And Joey Wright has seen enough. He calls timeout. Less than 3 minutes have been played since we restarted. The margin 13. It's been 9-4 since halftime in the Dragons' favour.
Joey would not be happy not taking good care of the basketball.
We come out at halftime, we go back and slow again. Get ready to turn this shit up. It's a basketball game, fellas. The fuck are you doing out there? Get into them and play fucking defense. Too many wide open shots.
Well, Brisbane, like I spoke to Dylan Boucher, I knew Joey was going to blast them about coming out slow. And then they've done the same thing here in the third quarter. And, you know, the Dragons are a type of team that, well, there's not many teams in this league you want to give any kind of breathing space. You want to just step on them when they're down. But the Dragons with Shane Hill and Ellis and then Joe Ingles, like he did nothing in the first half. They've got some guys that can light it up. You want to squash them when they're down. Let's see how they respond out of this timeout. Joey's hot.
And so he should be. It wasn't as though it wasn't anticipated. The Dragons came out firing at the start of the match, led 9-3. They pick up a 6-point buffer there, and then they come out at the start of the second half and maybe grab another quick 9-4 start. There's another 6 points, and what was a game that was a 20-point margin is now being cut to 13. And the Bullets with some work to do. Reichardt's coughed it up now. Ingles off and running. Stephen Black can't go with him. He had to foul him. It went unwhistled. Ingles adds another 2. An explosive start here to the third term as Ebiarat goes to work, and the 2 will count.
Really should have left that one alone. I don't think it was going to get there. That's the defense by Joe Ingles getting in the passing lane. Look at his explosiveness as he just made some ground between him and Stephen Black. And he was fouled, no doubt.
I didn't want to pull it up that early. You're on your way to the bucket.
Chance at a 3-point play for Ebiarat.
Case, I don't know how they missed that. I don't know how they missed that. He's going in for a dunk. He gets slapped on the arm and the leg. You can see when a guy has forward progress when he gets hit. He gets impeded.
Well, he not only out-quick the D, he out-quicked the referees, and perhaps they were lagging and didn't get a good angle on it. But the Dragons, with single digits on the shot clock, go to Roselle Ellis against Reichardt. The long-range hook shot from Roselle Ellis is all the bottom of the net. 7 of 10 from the field. Ellis has 15 points and a game-high 8 rebounds. Bruton to Ebiura, firing over Jacob Holmes, and he knocks down the 3. Well, they've been selective from long range. 13 shots from beyond the perimeter, 40 inside, where they're hitting at 46% as Ingles penetrates. Jacob Holmes has to retrieve the pass, hands off to Kavossi Franklin, top of the key, looking for the answering 3 off the front of the rim. Stephen Black to Bruton. All the urgency about Brisbane now as Bruton shakes Shane Hill, but couldn't finish it off. Ellis wants it quickly. Kavossi Franklin obliges, and the 2 imports combine once more. 35 of the 60 the Dragons have come up with are via their imports. Reichardt goes back to Stephen Black. Now Bruton gets a good look at the 3. Caught it flat on the front of the rim. Kavossi Franklin looking to push the issue once more. Races up the floor against Stephen Black and McKinnon. Reichardt joins in, but he's going to be called for the foul. Have to love that from Kavossi Franklin. Got Stephen Black in front of him, so he goes straight to Sam McKinnon to take both of them on. And when Reichardt comes across, well, it just makes him more determined.
Well, I'm not sure what position you would classify him as. The shooting guard, the point guard. He's like a power guard. He will bull his way through any situation, stay on balance, and get a score. And there are a number of times where he gets hit, scores, might have a little mean look on his face like he got fouled, but he doesn't complain a whole lot. He loves the contact. I think he feeds off of it.
11-point ball game, almost 5 minutes played in this third term. As Reichardt finds Mick Hill at the top of the key. Interestingly, Mick Hill yet to score in the match. Averages 10 per game. Won the best, was runner-up in the best 6-man in the league last season as Gibson bounces off Ingles. Ingles called for the foul. And Simon Curl, who played more than 150 games for the Brisbane Bullets, has joined us, and the Bullets circa 2007 look very strong, Simon.
Yeah, they're looking quite amazing. I don't think I've seen a team, be this dominant, and they demolish teams. They don't just beat them, they demolish them. So they look very exciting, and I can't see too many teams beating them this year.
Especially since, Shane's team, the Dragons, play like Shane. They play with a lot of heart. For them to just be dominating the game as they have so far is really a credit to Brisbane.
Oh yeah, there was a chance that I thought it was going to get blown out by 30, but I think the Dragons have come back strong in this quarter. I think maybe Brisbane just taken a little bit easy. But you see, as they do to most teams, they just wear them down over the course of the game, push the ball at them, play strong D, and then by the end of the game, the team's down by 25-30.
This is Reichardt in the corner, needs help. McKinnon provides it, lurking on the baseline. Mick Hill opens his scoring account in impressive fashion. Simon, it's been a long time between drinks. 1987 was the last championship here in Brisbane. A lot of people will be surprised that it's been 20 years since a championship was won here.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it would be that long. I think the last grand final they even played in was 1990. But it's a testament to the team that Joey Wright's put together, and it's taken him 4 years to get to this, to create the team that he's created. And they do a very good job. They play a style of basketball that hasn't been seen in Australia for a while, strong with scoring. They lock people down in defence, and they just push the ball down everybody's throat.
Simon, sorry, you played it physical here. We're just seeing Shane Hill tangling with Mick Hill there. Did that look like unsportsmanlike to you?
No, but it wouldn't surprise me that the referees over here would make those kind of ridiculous calls. But I'm sure the NBL thinks they're doing a fine job.
I was wondering when we were going to see some of that vintage Simon Curl.
Come on, man. We all know. It's just you guys just don't want to say it. I'll say it for you if you want.
There you go.
Now, Simon, before we let you go, who do you want to see in the grand final with your Bullets?
I would love the Dragons, but I just don't think this year they just don't have enough talent to compete. But I'd like to see Melbourne Tigers. You know, I just think that'd probably be the most exciting final. Either Melbourne or Perth. I think for the Big Bear, I'd like to see him, have another crack if he gets a chance. It'd be good. But either Melbourne or Perth, preferably Melbourne. It's always good to beat the Tigers.
And your dad, no doubt, he's loving seeing Brisbane back at the top of the tree as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a hoop junkie. So he, for him to see something that he really created, and this is his baby way back in the day. The foresight that he had and the time and effort he put in, it's good that it's finally back where it should be. One of the premier franchises in sports in Australia. So he'll be very happy.
Yes, the Bullets are putting on a great show at the moment. Enjoy the ride, and we'll speak to you again soon. Thanks, Simon.
Thanks, guys.
Simon Curl, former Brisbane Bullets leading scorer, and certainly enjoying the way the Bullets are going about their basketball at the moment.
He just couldn't help himself, huh? He just couldn't do it. He was trying his best, and then he just had to throw that little carrot out there.
Mick Hill finding Ebiura in the corner. Jacob Holmes got there quickly, but not quickly enough as Ebiura knocks down another three. He's been busy from deep. He has 4 threes in the match. His team have 7, and the Dragons just 2 of 13 from long range. So Ebby leading the charge from long range. Margin back to 16. As Frank Drimick from close range gets one to tumble off the window. His first score in the match arrives after almost 8 minutes of term number 3. Mick Hill runs into Drimick. Ball spills to Boucher. Had to go back for thirds and still came up empty. Full credit to the Dragons. Be easy to drop your bundle right now, but they won't go away. They've outscored Brisbane by 4 in this term. As Boucher goes to Ebiura, Williamson joining in. He throws it down.
Man, I thought that Shane was going to try and get a pop on him, and he might have been a little tentative, anticipating the contact, but no, nice jam.
Ingles firing the tree, couldn't get it to go. Boucher off and running Brisbane with Ebiura, Nigerian international, taking it from the Kiwi international. Brad Williamson now wants support, looking for Boucher in a confined space. Joe Ingles thought he'd done enough to win that back for the Dragons. Appeared to knock it down onto the leg of his opponent. The referees didn't see it that way.
And this is a jam. Williamson running the lane on the right side. That's how you finish. Known for his shooting ability. And showing you he's got some ups as well.
3:22 to play in this third term. Brisbane to restart. Leading by 16. Ingles just nudging Adam Gibson out of court. Has picked up the foul. That's the 4th of the Dragons in this term. Likewise, Brisbane has committed 4 fouls since half-time. Brisbane restart. Boucher goes to Ebiura. Finding Mick Hill baseline, firing over Drimick. Didn't get enough on the shot. Jacob Holmes grabs the rebound. Now Shane Hill. Against Mick Hill, top of the key. Williamson comes across to guard him. Jacob Holmes has Drimick rolling to the hoop. Excellent teamwork from the Dragons as they add another 2. They're sticking to the game plan. Ebiura finds Boucher. Return pass was a difficult one to handle. And the Dragons will come up with possession. Adam Quick retreats to the coach, Shane Hill. Gets away from Adam Gibson, confronted by Boucher. Picks up the dribble. Foul is going to be called on Boucher. Shane Hill did enough there to convince the referees that there was some contact untoward, and earns a trip to the free throw line where he's 3 of 4 so far tonight.
Well, not much, just got him off balance a little bit. I wouldn't suggest that a rookie in the league try that one. They would just let you fall out of bounds and reward the other team with the ball. But similar play on the other end. Joe Ingles forced Adam Gibson out. Interesting to see the reaction of Shane Hill and the South Dragons if he didn't get that call. He would have lost it.
Stephen Black, the only starter on the floor for the Brisbane Bullets at the moment. They swing the ball around the perimeter looking for a percentage shot. Mick Hill baseline against Roselle Ellis was looking for Boucher. Turnover number 13 for Brisbane. Likewise, the Dragons have 13 in that category. A good fight back by the Dragons. That was looming as a blowout. Is now getting a little closer as Shane Hill knocks down the 3. And the margin is down. In fact, it's a 2. Margin down to 10. Less than 2 minutes out from three-quarter time. Gibson to Boucher. Now Stephen Black against Adam Quick and Kavossi Franklin. Double team. Mick Hill springs free. Couldn't knock it down. Boucher over the back of Franklin, but Kavossi keeps it alive. And now brings the Dragons back up the floor. 90 seconds left in this third term. Shot clock rolls to 10 for Shane Hill. Against Brad Williamson. Needs help. Adam Quick provides it. Now down low to Franklin, who needs to get busy. Tough shot for the shot clock about to expire, but Kavossi Franklin likes it tough.
He loves it with the shot clock winding down. Some guys are like, oh, don't give it to me. I want to shoot a poor percentage tonight. He loves it.
Margin cut to just 8. This is as close as the Dragons have been since the early stages of the second term. But Dylan Boucher adds another 2 to his tally, now with 8 points, 8 rebounds. Hill, harassed by Dylan Boucher, who gets a piece of the action to knock it out of court. 14 on the shot clock now for the Dragons. Franklin, guarded by Stephen Black. Looking to show them his game. Franklin had to jump out of the cylinder. Drimmick tried the tip in, that wouldn't work. Mick Hill falling out of court with a foot on the line. And the Dragons will get it back.
Steve Bignell sounds like he's, I don't know, not in a good place with that cough. To turn his mic down.
Shane Hill. The shot clock some 5 seconds inside the game clock, heading toward three-quarter time. Drimmick had a good seal there on Williamson. Now does fire, but couldn't get it over the front of the rim. Last play of the third term. Mick Hill had Gibson available, reaching in. Adam Quick diffused the situation. Drimmick to Kavossi Franklin on the buzzer. Just couldn't get it to tumble, but the third quarter honours are with the South Dragons. They win a quarter against the Brisbane Bullets for the first time in 11 attempts. And with 1 quarter to play, don't write the Dragons off. It's Brisbane 84, South 74 here on Fox Sports.
Well, Brisbane all year long have been able to turn up the defense in the fourth quarter. I'm sure this game will be no exception. And they really got it going defensively in the second quarter and here in the third. Defense that's rewarded by fast break opportunities. Again, good hands by Sam McKinnon, triggering another fast break. Kavossi Franklin kind of jumped in the air, had nowhere to go. Another fast break opportunity. 2-on-1, Brad Williamson with the jam. And Shane Hill and his coaching staff, Scotty Ninnis and Guy Malloy, will try and come up with some answers because they know that Brisbane are going to come out with all kind of energy, and they got to be ready with some counters. That's a good quarter for the South Dragons because Joey Wright obviously was not happy with his team, but they were able to turn it around and get some kind of a cushion. But South Dragons just will not go away. We talked about the character of this team, and it's largely because of their coach. They play with the same character that he plays with. Too much to ask of one man.
Well, the Bullets are shooting the ball at 50% from the field in this match. On the season average, the Dragons give their opponents a 47% clip. So as you say, Steve, they don't have trouble putting points on the board, but they do have trouble containing teams. And when they're without Matt Burston and Matt Shanahan through injury, well, that doesn't help the cause. So Brisbane restart with a possession arrow and a 10-point lead here, looking for their 13th straight win. Their 13th consecutive win here at home this season as well. McKinnon, who's been quiet by his high standards tonight, now just 3 of 10 from the field. And Kavossi Franklin off and running. McKinnon played some good D, but Kavossi Franklin will not be contained.
Boy, he doesn't back down from a good shot blocker at all. And he changes it up too. Sometimes goes into the body. That time going up and under for the reverse layup. Quick with the good D.
As Roselle Ellis in support, trying to draw Reichert, but Dusty was going for the clubbing foul, picks up his third.
Nice play by Adam Quick, and on the 2-on-1 break, he was able to hang on to this one. See, the D doesn't play him, so he's got to continue to go to the basket. That's a good play by Dusty Reichert, because he knew Adam Quick wanted to pass on that one and get it to Roselle Ellis.
Adam Quick, 50% from the free throw line this season, gets his first points in this game. Represented Australia at the Junior World Championships on a couple of occasions and makes it good from the free throw line. 6-point ball game.
Did I read that right? He's only been to the line 4 times all year. I think that's 6 now.
And the margin just 6, so the fans are a little stunned here. A 20-point lead has evaporated for the Brisbane Bullets, and the Dragons have got some scoreboard pressure on them. 3 on the shot clock. McKinnon extra pass for Reichert. He was fouled with the shot clock expiring in the background.
It was fine. It was fine. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Line it up.
Where Brisbane had a number of guys open for a layup. And the South Dragons just scrambling, almost pulled that one off.
Dusty Reichert makes his first free throw of the evening. A good match, as his numbers tell you. 22 points, team high 8 rebounds for Dusty Reichert. Dragons down by 8 as Kavossi Franklin takes them all on a game and adds another 2. He has 26 to lead the game. Stephen Black getting an open look from deep. There's regulation for Stephen Black. Bullets now 8 of 18 from deep. Dragons 2 of 14.
See, those are, sorry, Case, those are little things you can't do. Can't do against Brisbane, especially when you're down.
Franklin to Shane Hill, now Drimming. Adam Quick inside Reichert, attracted plenty of attention. It was open for Roselle Ellis, who appeared to be fouled. Stays with the job though and does get it done eventually now with 21.
Well, that's another guy that just feeds off the contact, rarely complains about any kind of body contact. Speaking of that, Adam Quick.
15 for the initial hole.
Steve Bignell still struggling with the cough as well.
Listen to this. Just a little bit of a as there was a little bit of contact on that drive. Kavossi Franklin still with a finish.
CJ Britton losing the handle, gets it back again to Stephen Black, who works inside Shane Hill. Reichert was slipped inside. Frank Drimming adds another 2. 24, he equals his season high. 9-point buffer for the Bullets as Adam Quick fires. Can't get it done, and McKinnon grabs the rebound. Stephen Black has Ebbia and Reichert in support up the floor. Looks to shake Shane Hill. Free throws to come for Stephen Black.
And he is going right at him. Watch, this ball's going up in the air. Ellis coming. And ball on the way up. I don't think that thing was ever going to get 10 feet high.
Here we go.
Roselle Ellis, undersized, Big heart, and every single night he's undersized and he gets it done.
It may not be a better value for money import in the NBL than Roselle Ellis. Stephen Black, who's top 5 in the league from the free throw line, shows us why. 11 the margin, almost 3 minutes done in the final period. As Ingles goes to the coach, Shane Hill. Back to Ingles, works inside Stephen Black, shut down by Ebi Ora. Franklin firing against good D from Reichardt, couldn't finish it. Trimmick, the offensive rebound. The Dragons with another opportunity as Ingles works inside Reichardt and finger rolls another 2 for the South Dragons. And single digit separates these teams as McKinnon works against a former teammate in Frank Drimmick, and off the window, determined to get something happening, nails just his 4th field goal of the match. 8 points for McKinnon. His season average is 20.
That just goes to show you good D just can't stop a good offensive player, because he did all he could do on that one. Hammer for 3 is short.
CJ Bruton scurries after the rebound, has Stephen Black available and uses him against Ingles. Kicks it outside where Ebi Ora, the danger man, looms. Couldn't knock it down on this occasion. Roselle Ellis grabs the rebound, goes on with the dribble, takes on Reichardt as well, and an offensive foul is called on Roselle Ellis, his 4th.
Roselle Ellis probably should have given it up to a guard, but there's just, we'd have a great angle there. I just like it when you had to get somewhere close to the middle of the guy's chest for it to be a charge. You know, a guy gets a leg out, half of his shoulder out, falls down and gets those calls.
Reichardt against multiple defenders draws another foul. Ellis was in the vicinity. It looks as though it's his 5th personal.
Over the limit. Over the limit. 2 shots.
Roselle Ellis has fouled out twice so far this season. Did it against Sydney in 40 minutes and against Wollongong in 25 minutes. And Dusty Reichardt to the free throw line, where he's 2 of 4 so far tonight, and now has his highest score as a Brisbane Bullet. Reichardt's career high is 44. In this match, he's up to 26, including 14 in the second term. A little over 4 minutes played in this final quarter. Drimmick to Ingles against Stephen Black, inviting him to come back for seconds. Franklin has Drimmick posting up the undersized CJ Bruton, who goes with some active hands. Campbell Craddock appeared to have the best angle there, and no whistle forthcoming, but Anthony Light has seen an infringement.
South Dragons going right to that mismatch. CJ Bruton, after a switch, gets on Frank Drimmick's back and go right at him. Frank Drimmick just hasn't been finishing his free throws. Normally you want to finish up on your toes. And he's fallen away, and like that one short again. Walking back as he was shooting it. That's 4 straight. All short.
Good ball movement from the Brisbane Bullets. The great D from the South Dragons, who just continue to work hard. Reichardt, double team, needs help. Ebi Ora had McKinnon in support, went straight at Frank Drimmick, who's called for the foul. His second. Dragons over the limit here in this 4th period.
This Brisbane have been able to just keep that right around the 10-point cushion. No matter what the South Dragons do, Brisbane just seems to have an answer. Every single time the South Dragons make some kind of a run, whether they come up with defensive plays, or we got a number of guys who have been stars on various teams willing to step it up. But that's the beauty of the Brisbane Bullets, is they have a number of guys that are willing to take shots, so they're never tentative in clutch situations, but they're also patient too.
Bullets have scored the last 6 to buy some more breathing space. Shane Hill wants timeout with 7:13 left on the clock. A reminder that straight after this match, we have another NBL game coming your way with the New Zealand Breakers playing host to the Singapore Slingers. That's coming up directly after this match, and you may want to stick around for it. I don't want to give away too much.
Come on, give us something.
It's a 3-point thriller.
There you go.
2 non-Australian teams putting on quite a show in New Zealand. Decided by a single shot. Stick around if you love the NBL.
CJ, come off that and look aggressive so you can pull this bottom guy. Then that's when that look is open. If he don't, you come off that thing aggressive anyway and look to turn the corner and take a shot, okay?
Hey, if they're in man,
hard cuts right now. Hard cuts. We're in Arizona. So Sam's right here. Dusty's right here. 2, 1. This is you right here. He's gonna set this screen. This guy's looking to turn the corner right here. Instead of Sam popping, he's rolling. So they might kick to you here and dump in, all right? If your guys suck and pick up Sam on that, then you're wide open in the corner, right there, okay?
Right now, Sammy, Dusty's gonna flash high post.
And Dusty's coming in right behind Sammy, right off the back.
Come on, boys,
let's go,
keep
fellas,
it up.
right here. Turn it up, turn it up.
Well, all game long, all season long, they've been able to just turn it on and blow teams out in this situation. Be interesting to see. The South Dragons showed great character all night long against a team where they look overmatched talent-wise. They've still been hanging around, but Brisbane right here, this is a crucial part where Brisbane go to another level.
Bossy Franklin getting plenty of treatment. Goes to Hobber, who's working on Sam McKinnon, growing in confidence. Brent Hobber now 3 of 3 from the field. There's 6 points.
Not just 3 of 3 on garbage shots. He's made some good moves to get himself in a position to score.
Stephen Black has one rattle around the rim. Reichert tries to work it to the advantage of McKinnon, but the Dragons put a stop to it and trail by just 13. Middle stages. Term number 4. Hill sneaking backdoor. The pass from Hobber just left a little to be desired. Execution just not there. In Brisbane, well, they give it back up. Kavossi Franklin read the pass from Reichert, intended for Bruton, and now wants to make him pay. Rattling around the rim, it wouldn't tumble. Ebiara off and running. Bruton in support, Black joining in as well, and they combine for Bruton to get an open look. He couldn't finish the 3. Now 1 of 4 from deep. Bruton hasn't scored since half-time. Jacob Holmes looking for Shane Hill, harassed by CJ Bruton. He fires and knocks down the 2. The Bullets wanted an offensive foul called on Shane Hill. Joey Wright up barking instructions at the referee, but the Hammer now with 16 in the game.
They wanted something. They wanted a carry. Although he kept his hand on top of the ball, they wanted a travel. Something.
McKinnon against Jacob Holmes. Forces his way down low. And the 2 points is going. You count a goaltender is called on the Dragons. And the Brisbane Bullets reach the century for the 25th time out of 28 games this season. And Mark Bradkey, who's spent some time on the sidelines through injury, this team is really firing.
Well, we have been, but this second half has been very lacklustre by us. We're a little bit flat-footed. The Dragons are doing a good job with the zone defence against us, and we're just not really being that aggressive on the offensive end.
Well, it looks like when you get in, you're getting your dominance right away. Being a big out there with a lot of little quick guys can be tough when you're trying to slide with them, but on the offensive glass, you've been very effective.
Yeah, no, the few minutes I have played tonight, it felt good out there, but we're just monitoring my injuries. I come back from another injury, so it's all part of the plan.
Hoagie, tell us about your problems and how do you rate yourself at the moment in terms of your fitness?
Well, there's always something wrong as you get old, but yeah, look, I'm feeling good, enjoying the game. I felt good at practice yesterday, just put up a little bit sore in my calf that I tweaked last week. So, but you know, the team's rolling at the moment, and it's good to get a few minutes out there because it's a lot of fun to play.
And you've had a busy 2 weeks as well. Your wife has been down at the Australian Open tennis where I've been and left you home batching.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's been busy for me, but yeah, no, she's been down at the tennis looking after Sam Stozer, and hopefully Sam's still winning her way, but yeah, busy household at the moment.
And your wife let the cat out of the bag and said that you are going to retire at the end of this season. Can you tell us exclusively on Fox Sports that that's the case?
I don't know if she makes the decisions or I do. Maybe she's making the decisions now. But look, I'm just enjoying myself at the moment. As you get older, it's getting harder. I've had a lot of injuries, but
what, to make the decisions in the house? It's getting harder.
Yeah, come on, mate. What can I do now? I can't say yes or no. It's a joint decision what we make, and we will decide later.
All right, we appreciate your time, Hoagie. Keep up the good work.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Mark Bradke, probably the most pressure he's been under tonight. Getting a grilling from Steve and I here about his future as Jacob Holmes knocks down the three. Only the third triple of the match for the Dragons, but they refuse to go away. Stephen Black finds an opening. Couldn't finish it though. Good hustle again from Boucher to keep that alive for Brisbane. But eventually Joe Ingles puts a stop to it. But he's been harassed, manhandled, had the ball stolen. Mick Hill misses the layup. And Ebiarat doesn't. He makes the two and draws a foul.
And those are the things that aren't a big deal when the games are tight, but when you're trying to come back against the best team in the competition, they kill you. Looking for a fast break opportunity. Knows if he can split those defenders, Joe Ingles, they've got a layup or a high percentage shot if he can get through it. Those are the chances you take, but you know, Brisbane, they're relentless defensively.
Ebiarat, 21 points. His 6 assists is a game high. This is another man who played for Nigeria at the World Championships, comes to the star-studded Brisbane Bullets lineup, and when they're at full strength, he'll come off the bench.
And that's the thing about when a team is playing well and throwing those extra passes, you don't even notice when a guy has standout stats. I wouldn't even have known that he had 2 assists.
Kavossi Franklin sees an opening in the paint, rushes down low. He has put on a tremendous display. His 28 points is a game high. 15 the margin. Ebiarat working on Ingles. Found Boucher, who had the nous to find an opening, get into a passing lane, and from close range, Boucher adds another 2.
That's probably the most underrated thing in basketball. A guy who can get to the angles and give his teammate a good angle to get a pass and then get layups. My goodness, how valuable is that?
Roselle Ellis gets the lob pass from Jacob Holmes, has to go back for seconds and thirds, still trying hard, and eventually he's rewarded. He is a workhorse. Roselle Ellis, game high 13 rebounds and 23 points to go with it. A little over 3 minutes out from full time. Margin is 15. It was as close as 6 in this final term. And there's Dylan Boucher putting himself about a game, feeding Stephen Black, who gets Bruton involved back to Ebiarat. He rushes to the hoop. Couldn't finish the acrobatic dunk, but Brisbane have got it back. Now he will fire from the three-point line unsuccessfully. Ingles to Jacob Holmes. He waits for Kavossi Franklin to get involved, and that's a good option because Kavossi is making things happen. This time to Ellis for the easy 2.
For Kavossi Franklin, if you're anywhere near him, something good's going to happen. I'm sure Joey Wright wants to talk about some type of containment on Kavossi Franklin. Wow, what a nightmare to stay in front of.
Well, the Bullets with a 13-point lead at the moment against an undermanned Dragons outfit who came here without 2 of their main pieces in Matt Burston and Matt Shanahan, and that's left a lot of work to fall on the shoulders of Kavossi Franklin, Shane Hill and Roselle Ellis, who have taken 54 of the 79 shots that the Dragons have had to take.
Take the good shot if it's there and stop messing around with the ball. Let's go finish this game out. Finish it out, all right? A win's a win. We haven't played well, but let's get down and win the basketball game. Down here with this group, you guys should be 5 and everywhere except for Roselle. If we can keep big Dylan, you on Roselle, stay on Roselle, all right? But everywhere else, you should be 5 in it, all right?
Hey,
finish this out strong.
They're coming down in that double high. Make them go up the other side.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Look.
He's coming off his right hand every time.
You can't play well every single night, but they have done enough things to just have a nice cushion against a team who is playing with tremendous heart. I mean, that last play phase where Roselle Ellis missed 2 shots and somehow got his hand on the ball and tipped it in. You know, that's the type of heart that the South Dragons have had. They're just undermanned.
Dragons have outscored Brisbane in the second half. As Boucher gets it from Gibson, here's Williamson from close range taking on Roselle Ellis. It's waved away. A travelling violation is called on Williamson. 13-point margin in favour of the Bullets. Little over 2 minutes to play. Joe Ingles finds Jacob Holmes at the top of the key. Williamson on the retreat. Ingles firing the long 3. Couldn't get it to tumble. Ebiara grabs the rebound. Now quickly up the floor, Mick Hill goes to work. And against the D with a non-preferred left hand, Mick Hill adds another 2. Just 1 of 7 before that one tumbled. And a slow shooting night for Mick Hill.
Moving the basketball up with the pass. Mick gets the angle. And even on a slow night, everybody's still looking for their opportunities.
Well, the Dragons sit down 3 of their keys. Roselle Ellis and Shane Hill go to the bench along with Jacob Holmes. Dragons have a busy schedule coming up. They'll be playing in Perth on Sunday. And then New Zealand to follow. Ash Cannon into the match, having an immediate impact.
Good timing on that. And it's hard to teach. Know when you should slip the screen and just go, get the angle. Good hands, good soft putback. Ash Cannon.
Cannon equals his career high with a very quick flurry here. 80 seconds to play, 11 the spread. Remembering Brisbane led by as many as 20 in the 3rd term. The Dragons have fought this one right out. Single digits on the shot clock for Ebiara. Against Adam Quick, works to the baseline. Good D from Hodler, worried him out of the points. Last 60 seconds of the match. Gibson looks for Mick Hill, posting up. Adam Quick, turnaround jumper from Mick Hill. It tumbles. Back to a 13-point ball game as Joe Ingles skips up the floor, was looking for Kavossi Franklin. But the oblique pass went straight to the Brisbane Bullets bench. And Adam Gibson gets the ball quickly up the floor for Mick Hill. Ebiara has had 16 of his 22 since half-time. Williamson fires the 3, and he knocks down the triple. 9 threes in the match for Brisbane, just 3 for the Bullets, up for the Dragons as Ash Cannon goes to work and is fouled by Mick Hill. 20 seconds left to play. Both teams over the limit in terms of fouls in this term. And Ash Cannon will go to the free throw line. Played his junior basketball with the Kilsyth team. His rookie season. And a chance to post a career high. Brisbane have hit 20 of 25 from the free throw line. Dragons 16 of 26. Mick Hill gets it to Ebiara. They'll slow this down for the last play of the match. South Dragons have been brave, but they are going under to the Brisbane Bullets for the 3rd straight time this season. And the Brisbane Bullets win 117 to 101 to claim their 23rd victory of the season, the most in franchise history. Brisbane, the championship favourites, show us why with a 16-point victory against a very determined opponent. And that's now 13 in a row, 13 consecutive wins at home. It's their last match at this venue. But Brisbane certainly are looking strong. South Dragons got it back to within 6 in the final term. But just didn't have the horses tonight against the league's best. 117 to 101. The Brisbane offensive juggernaut continues its powerful strides toward its first championship since 1987.
Coverage of the Australian NBL on Sky Sport was proudly brought to you by